Morning everybody, Monday morning, Maik Wiedenbach here giving tips from New York City. Today's tip is don't buy lottery ticket for the jackpot. You know why? Because you have as much of a chance as being eaten by a shark while struck by lightning than to win mega millions. But you can do whatever you want, I only give tips. So the topic du jour is actually reps, because people ask me like, how many reps should I do? I don't know, but I have this sort of 10 commandments that I put randomly together in my feeble mind. And so off we go. Number one, the number of reps under tension defines your success. What? Yes. So that means somebody who's getting a proper 8 reps, tension, arm doesn't leave the lat, turned out, will have a much better set and much more success as a bodybuilder than somebody doing 12 reps of this. Okay? That's mechanical failure. Number two, the number of reps somebody can do for strength and somewhat muscle gains declines by training age. So people who have trained longer, they are more effective at doing lower reps. Meaning, if you flip it, that newbies should be doing higher reps because A, their ligaments are not ready, their bones are not ready, and they don't have the neuromuscular activation to do low reps to get anything out of it, okay? Since we're on that topic, bodybuilders, recreational athletes, people who are not death seekers should not be doing singles or doubles. Why? Well, think about it. So I'm German, I went to the library, looked into the research of East Germany, Bulgarians and so forth, and even top level Olympic weightlifters, like people that did this for a living, they only spend about maybe 8% of their total training volume in the 90+% range, okay? Because those singles and doubles are very stressful in the nervous system, we talked about this, and they can cause injuries. So don't do that. Different exercises require different rep ranges, especially if you measure the degree of difficulty. So let's say a clean and press or a deadlift is much more difficult than, let's say, a hamstring curl or a leg extension. So the risk of injury is much higher, which would mean you should be keeping the reps somewhat lower and maybe up the sets. By the same token, different muscles also require different different reps. So explosive muscles like the chest or so, they would be different than, let's say, the back. Okay? That is to be considered. Obviously, your reps should also be not just as a number, but as a whole, being slowed down on the negative and as explosive as can be without jerking it on the positive phase. Next up, the amount of reps you can do on a weekly basis depends on your recovery, okay? Now, how do you measure this? Well, if you have a lab, they just swab you for testosterone and cortisol, and if the ratio is off, they send you home. But if you can't do this, there's 2 things you can do. Hope this works now. So one is you take your pulse in the morning, every morning for 60 seconds, and let's say all the time you have 60 beats, right? Then you have 3 days where you're at 64, 65. Well, that means you're off, you're not fully recovered, and maybe you should cut it in half or even take the day off, right? And then there's this sort of ghetto grip strength. So your grip is directly correlated to your recovery. So you take a scale and then you squeeze, and let's say I'm like in the 50s or so if I press really hard here. If you have a different scale, I mean the number doesn't matter much, it's just whatever number the scale gives you. But again, if then the next day I would be pressing and out of a sudden instead of 49, I'm somewhere like, 37, then I shouldn't be training, right? Building on that, the number of reps also depends on your hydration, food intake, and over recovery, just as we covered. So that is to be taken to mind. And lastly, second to last, the number of reps is what the body adapts the quickest. Okay, you gotta remember that. If you're training the same rep bracket all the time, you're not gonna make much progress. So in order to make more progress, what you need to do, change up the reps, okay? More so for the upper than for the lower body. So most people, if you're my client, you'll be going like 15, 12, 10, 8, and change the program, go back up, somewhere along those lines, right? And then lastly, the number of reps has to be individualized. Because let's say somebody like me, tiny joints, and overall slanky build, and not somebody who can do 4 to 5 to 6 reps I won't get much out of it. So remember, reps need to be individualized, is where the body adapts the quickest. Different muscles require different things. Different exercises require different things. Measure your recovery, measure your food intake, and if the reps are crappy, then it doesn't matter how great your food is and all that kind of stuff. If you're training beyond mechanical failure and you train with momentum, you won't get anywhere. Okay? So, a lot of info, guys. I will try to script it out. As always, I can only give tips, but in person I can do so even better. Subscribe to the videos, like them, forward them, contact me if you need coaching, and with that, I wish you a happy week. Mike out.